Well, it's now official. Keith Kellogg has been booted from the negotiations table with Russia and the U.S. Now, Russia is the one that made this request. They felt that Keith Kellogg was too pro Ukrainian, didn't have an open mind, I guess you could say. And if you look at some of Keith Kellogg's public statements, they have a point. He's criticized Trump about not providing enough Ukraine aid, which if 100 billion plus isn't enough aid, I don't know how much is, but that's beside the point. Keith Kellogg was originally promoted to this position before Trump was even elected. I think that he and some of the neocons in the Republican Party kind of convinced Trump that, hey, we can get the Russians to agree to freezing the front lines, basically like a North Korea, South Korea situation. And we'll bring in NATO peacekeepers, and what we'll give Russia is we'll tell them that, well, Ukraine won't join NATO for 10 to 20 years, and we'll take some of the sanctions off of Russia that we put on them. Well, one, you know, Russia isn't going to accept Ukraine ever being in NATO. It's not a thing of, well, it's too soon for Ukraine to be in NATO. It's Ukraine can never be in NATO, or really any military bloc. And two, the Russians don't care about the West sanctions. Like, the West has tried to sanction them on pretty much everything, and it's hurt the West more than it's hurt Russia. I mean, Europe especially, and Germany, if you want a prime example, have hurt themselves worse than they've hurt Russia because their economies were set up on the premise of cheap Russian gas to be able to power them. And so when they banned the importation of Russian gas, they shot themselves in the foot. Even though, don't tell anybody this, they still import gas from Russia. They just do it through third parties.